on Indeed.com. Taylorville Care Center, caring for the community for nearly 50 years.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Avery Cooper. Your stream on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com's Facebook and on WTIM TV YouTube, brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. And People's Bank and Trust, they put people first. I have State Treasurer Michael Frericks on the phone. Great to have you back, State Treasurer.
Avery, good morning. It's great to be back with you.
So you have some big news on your website, which IllinoisTreasurer.gov, that you've returned you've made a record, a USA record for that matter. I'll let you tell it.
We did. Yesterday, we were pleased to announce the largest unclaimed property return amount in U.S. history. Now, we have smashed Illinois records over the time, returning over $1.5 billion to people in the state of Illinois. But yesterday was the single largest claim. A gentleman from Chicago area passed away without any heirs, and he had amassed a fortune of at least $11 million that we had to return.
Wow, $11 million. That sounds like it's, that's a lot of money just to wake up and find. So who ended up, you mentioned they didn't have any heirs, so who ended up with that $11 million?
Well, let me first put this in perspective. The largest amount we had returned before was about $8 million, and that was to an auto manufacturing plant in the suburbs, and the largest individual amount was $5 million. So this is a large amount, but it's even more interesting because this individual was born in America. His parents were born in Poland. He was born in America. He had 6 brothers and sisters. He had no children. His 6 siblings had no children. His 6 siblings had all preceded him in death. And so normally you would pay this money out to children or maybe a spouse or siblings, but they had all passed away. So we had to go up his family tree to his parents to find their siblings and then go down their family trees to find their children. So all together, we found 119 heirs. 119 heirs spread out in Poland, Slovakia, Illinois, Minnesota, New York, spread out all over to split this $11 million claim.
To put it bluntly here, Treasurer, how did you go up and down the family tree?
You know, I have people on my staff who work basically as detectives. I've deputized them. Thanks to the power of the internet, we can find some leads. But then we found the attorney for his estate, who also has helped us to track down family members. So genealogy records have been helpful. It was a lot of work, but it's a lot of money. But whether it's $11 million or $11, the money doesn't belong to the state. It belongs to people, and we want to return it. And so if any of your listeners are thinking, wow, I wonder if I have a relative who might have left $11 million, they can find out by checking IllinoisTreasurer.gov. You click on iCash, put your name in our database, but also put the names of deceased relatives. This is a common thing when people pass away. They don't always tell their children or their spouse everywhere that they have parked money. And if no one is there to claim it, it gets turned over to our office. We'd love to return it to the rightful owners or their rightful heirs.
And again, they can go to IllinoisTreasurer.gov and find out more information there. Anything else that you'd like to say? I know this is a pretty big deal for you.
It was. It took a lot of effort. It's a big amount, but it's hopefully also a reminder there that lots of people have money. They either pass away or they forget about it. And just encourage people to go to IllinoisTreasurer.gov and click on iCash, unclaimed property, and see if we have money that belongs to you. You know, it's something we fight for every day. To fight to put more money back into the hands of Illinois citizens. We know that we put more money back into your listeners' hands, Avery, that frequently, if they weren't expecting it, they're then likely to say, hey, let's go out for dinner. Let's go shopping and buy a gift. And them going out and spending that money in the Christian County community does a lot more good for our local economy than it does sitting in a bank vault in Springfield.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Moving down the list a little ways, another milestone for you. Your Secure Choice Retirement Savings Program passed the major threshold. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, we're very excited about this. A little background for people who don't know about Secure Choice. There is a retirement crisis going on in this country. Too few people have saved enough money to retire with dignity. People who want to enjoy their golden years have to put it off and put it off. We think the answer is helping people save their own money. Everyone knows they need to save for their retirement, but they find excuses and put it off. And we help remove some of those excuses and help give them a nudge to get started doing something they know they want to do. So since we passed legislation and set up this program, we've enrolled over 100,000 people in the state of Illinois who are now saving for their retirement. They've saved nearly $100 million, and we're going to sign up many more because there's that next wave of enrollees, employers with between 16 and 25 employees now are signing up their employees to get their own individually managed Roth IRA.
Well, that's pretty cool. Now, that's something that comes out of the paycheck, right? That it mandates employers to take it out of the paycheck and then puts it into the Roth IRA, and then the employee can go ahead and manage that Roth IRA how they see. I'm just clarifying here.
Oh, you are right on. The state doesn't manage this money. We give individuals choices to see how conservative or risky they want to be. They have control over this, but the really important thing is automatic payroll deduction. Because studies have shown that if a person has a workplace savings option, a pension or a 401k, they are 15 times more likely to be saving for their retirement than someone who doesn't. And so we think the answer is give more people workplace savings options. They have the ability to opt out if they want to, but most people know they need to do this. And once they get signed up, the money just comes out of their paycheck. It grows in the account. And when they get ready to retire, they should hopefully have a nice little nest egg.
One more question about it. What happens if an employee who is enrolled in this program decides to move on from their job?
Well, that's the great thing about Secure Choice. We are targeting people who work in industries with a lot of turnover. People maybe in the restaurant industry or the nightlife bar industry or gas stations, lower wage employers. If they move and they stay within the state of Illinois, this is portable to their employer. We have thousands of employers around the state who are set up for this. And if they move to an employer that has a 401k, they keep their money in their own individually managed Roth IRA. So this was a program designed with the employees in mind to make it easy and portable for them, because we know that saving for retirement is not something you do 1 month, not something you do in 1 year. It's something you do over your career.
And if a person decides to move out of state?
Then they will still have their own Roth IRA. They'll be able to put money into it, but they won't be able to do it through automatic payroll deduction if they're working out of state. At least not yet. We'd like to see this become a national model so that Americans can travel around the country and still maintain that one account. They don't have to worry about transferring assets. They don't have to worry about managing multiple accounts. But what we're going to do is show this works here in Illinois. It's also working in Oregon and California. And if we can show enough employers and employees who are happy with this, we'd like to take this national.
Anything else that you'd like to say about the Secure Choice Retirement Savings Program?
No, I just want to remind people this is it's not funded by the state. It's not managed by the state. We contract out with a private employer or private sector manager, and then we give employees choice. They can choose to stay enrolled, or they can choose to opt out. They can choose to be very risky in their investments, or they can choose to be very conservative. They can just put things into a glide path, meaning the nature of the investments change as they get closer to retirement, or not. The beautiful thing here is employees have a choice, but we're helping them to do something they already know they need to do.
And when is that deadline to opt out if they so choose?
Well, they can opt out at any time.
Okay.
If they've been contributing for 6 months and they have a family emergency, they can stop that. The great thing about a Roth IRA is if they need some extra money, they can take some money out, the money they've contributed, penalty free. Once again, it's all about being flexible and giving them choice and have control over their futures, but giving the tools they need to invest in themselves.
The State Treasurer Michael Frericks here on the WTIM Morning Show. Going to talk a lot more about some State Treasurer business in just a moment. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark and People's Bank and Trust. They put people first. Don't go anywhere.
WTIM.
Hi, this is Christian County Sheriff Bruce Kettlecamp. In these tough times for public safety, experience in law enforcement matters more than ever. I've served our community in law enforcement for most of my life, in the local police departments, the Illinois State Police, the Drug Enforcement Agency, and now as your sheriff. Protecting and serving you has been my life's work. I'm Sheriff Bruce Kettlecamp. I would appreciate your vote on or before November 8th.
Paid for by friends of Bruce Kettlecamp for sheriff.
This is Leah Stuckmeyer with People's Bank and Trust, where customers have one consumer banker who knows them and provides the right financial services to achieve their financial goals. Your consumer banker is your single source for life's financial needs, from checking to consumer loans, from retirement accounts to mortgage loans, and everything in between. Call me at 888-PBT-1954. Bank with People's Bank and Trust so you can spend your time living your life, not explaining it. At People's Bank and Trust, we put people first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Here's a great way to prevent early nursing home placement. Rent one of the catered care suites at Taylorville Estates Assisted Living, 705 South Houston. Stay independent longer by living in one of these short-term apartments that include meals, laundry, a therapy gym, and much more. And if you like it, Taylorville Estates Assisted Living has 1 and 2 bedroom apartments available for longer-term stays. Find out more. Stop by and ask for Administrator Tony Clark or call her at 824-2222. That's 824-2222. Encouraging independence, enriching lives.
Your number one source for the waterproof flooring plus expert installation is
Your expanded local design center, Taylorville Home Source, 1316 East Park near the driver's license office in Taylorville.
they have the original Cortec waterproof flooring that's 100% waterproof and 100% pet proof.
As well as Shaw's Floor Tape Pro vinyl plank that's also waterproof.
It's all on sale with expert turnkey installation.
All at your expanded local design center, Taylorville Home Source, 1316 East Park near the driver's license office in Taylorville.
This is Becky Edwards, owner of B&G Administrative Services in Taylorville, your link to a better business day. I am proud to be the exclusive sponsor of the Miller Media Group B&G Administrative Services Business of the Month.
Cheryl Mormon and Charlie Kosirak founded Design with Detail in 2018, making unique balloon designs that have become the hit of local parties, gatherings, and even floats at the Illinois State Fair. They recently moved into a brick and mortar location on East Park Street in Taylorville, offering all sorts of party goods and, in the back, additional space called The Venue, which can be rented for intimate gatherings for birthday parties, wedding showers, and more. Find them on Facebook.
B&G Administrative Services congratulates this month's Business of the Month. Find out more on our services by going to bngadmin.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Avery Cooper. Your stream on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com's Facebook and WTIM TV YouTube, brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville. You always do better with Landmark and People's Bank and Trust. They put people first. Well, you know all about the combine and harvest reports right now on WTIM. They're taking up the airwaves, and they are fantastic. A great job by local farm broadcaster Jared White to bring you all that. But it reminded State Treasurer Michael Frerick something important. Go ahead, State Treasurer.
Yeah, we this spring had our Cream of the Crop photo contest. It was a 10-year anniversary, and I'm amazed at the young people and their talent. They go out and take pictures on the farm. But frequently remind people of this in the springtime, and we get a lot of pictures in springtime. But there were some amazing pictures of harvest, and I just want to remind some of your listeners, because I know you've had people in your listening area who have won our contest in the past, to take your cameras out and look at harvest time. Look through the lens and snap some pictures of what harvest means to you. We had some great pictures of harvests last year. I want to encourage people to take some now and to submit them again in the spring.
Yeah, this is the perfect time to do it. And as you mentioned and alluded to, you can't really take harvest pictures when the deadline comes. You got to do it.
You've got to take it when they're harvesting. These farmers aren't going to wait for you to get out in the field. They're not going to hold up until you get all your pictures. They go about their work, and they go dusk till dawn when the weather is good and the ground is dry enough. So there's not a lot of time. Get out there, take some now, and submit them to our Cream of the Crop photo contest next spring. We had exciting news for the 10-year anniversary. We gave college scholarships to the winners for the first time.
Yeah, they won some pretty sizable scholarships too, I understand.
Yeah, we gave to first, second, and third prize. The first prize won $1,000 for their put into their college scholarship. We know that that's not going to take care of all of education, but it goes a long way. And so, if there are parents out there who think, hey, my kid is too young for this photo contest, you're never too young to open up a college savings account for a young person. I can tell you, as the chief investment officer of the state of Illinois, there is no investment that pays a greater return than the investment in education of a young person.
I mean, $1,000 if you win first place, that could pay for 1 or 2 college credit hours. You know, that's pretty significant.
Yeah, and if you win at age 8 or 9 and invest that for 10 years, you can probably more than double that amount. So we're encouraging people, one, to encourage their kids to get out and to take pictures of what agriculture means to them, and we think harvest is a great time. But you can also, farmers are working on around their farms in the winter, in the summer, spring, and fall. But this is a good time to go out and take some pictures. And then also, if you're a parent, consider setting up a college savings account for your young person. You can do it for a child. You can also do it for a grandchild or for a niece or a nephew. It's an investment that will pay off dividends for a lifetime.
That program is IllinoisTreasurer.gov, and then you can click on the college savings program, right, Treasurer?
Correct. All this information, whether it be cream of the crop, college savings, secure choice, or unclaimed property, can be accessed at IllinoisTreasurer.gov. Illinois Treasurer, one word, .gov.
And do you have a spot where folks can go and see the past winners of the cream of the crop contest?
They can. It is on our website.
Okay.
So you can look through our media. We announced the winners in June, and then we displayed them at the state fair in August. Really some great pictures. One of my favorite ones was with a older student who took a picture of himself during harvest. The guy is apparently in a combine, and it's used a lot of GPS, and he had a drone flying in the air behind him that he was controlling and took a picture of himself. It really was a beautiful shot. Reminded me an awful lot of my grandfather's farm up in northern Champaign County.
Innovative, very innovative way to take a picture. And, that could be an inspiration for others to go ahead and do that as well. Really quickly here, Treasurer, speaking of college savings, you were honored with a Distinguished Service Award for college savings. Tell me a little bit about that before we go.
Yeah, this is a big program for me. It's been important in my life. I grew up in a family. My parents didn't go to college. Their parents didn't attend high school. They had to drop out to work on the farm in 6th, 7th, or 8th grade. We came in and worked very hard to improve our college savings program. We got very involved in a national association helping other states do the same thing, and was very happy at a recent meeting of the National Association of State Treasurers to be awarded Distinguished Service in College Savings. They give out one of these a year, and it was a nice recognition. We don't do this work for the awards. We do it for the kids' lives we're going to improve, but it's still nice to have your team recognized.
Indeed. Well, I know you got to get back to your day. A lot of stuff going on for you. Any other announcements? Anything that you want to remind folks about? Final thoughts.
Yeah, I think we hit the mainline points that college savings is an investment you can make at any time. It's never too early to start saving, just like for your retirement through Secure Choice. But, if you need some help funding those programs, we encourage you to check out our iCash division, our unclaimed property, and see if we have money that you weren't aware of. It can be something like a last paycheck you didn't receive, a rebate or a refund that didn't get to your house, or maybe you were the beneficiary of a life insurance policy. You won't know unless you check out IllinoisTreasurer.gov.
Thank you very much, Treasurer.
Avery, thank you. You have a great day.
Illinois Treasurer Mike Frericks on the WTIM Morning Show.
WTIM.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241 CF Taylorville, 107.5 W298 CD Shelbyville, 107.9 W300 EH Payne and Nokomis.
Airstrikes have cut power and water supplies to hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians. That's part of what the country's president called an expanding Russian campaign to drive the nation into the cold and dark and make peace talks impossible. As temperatures drop below freezing in eastern Ukraine, those who haven't already fled from the heavy fighting and months of Russian occupation are now facing a brutal winter. Collecting firewood and pulling up water from wells, tens of thousands of Ukrainians are digging in for the cold months. A top U.S. intelligence official questions whether Russia can sustain its attacks in Ukraine.
U.S. Director of National Intelligence Avril Haines says Russian forces face a major supply shortage and have been using up their stock of munitions at an unsustainable rate. The senior official says sanctions slapped on Russia are exposing its technological weaknesses, and a shortage of precision weapons such as cruise missiles is forcing Moscow to turn to countries like Iran and North Korea for equipment, including drones, artillery shells, and rockets. Meanwhile, as Russian forces pepper Ukraine with missile and drone attacks targeting energy facilities in the south and east, the Institute for the Study of War says that Moscow's recent offensive seems to be prioritizing psychological terror over achieving tangible battlefield effects. Jennifer King, Washington.
Another effort by President Biden to lower gas prices.
The Strategic Petroleum Reserve once again falls prey to the midterm elections and the Biden administration's attempt to lower gas prices before voters go to the polls. According to Bloomberg, the president is planning to release up to 15 million barrels of oil from the U.S. Emergency Oil Reserve this week as he tries to knock down soaring gas prices before next month's election. Tasha Stevens reporting.
On Wall Street, the Dow's ahead by over 537 points. The NASDAQ is up by 203. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hi, I'm Al Abaroa, founder of Knight Strategic Wealth. Inflation is a problem, markets are volatile, and the risk of running out of money in retirement is real. That's why I love annuities, and you should too. Your financial advisor doesn't want you to know that with our annuity strategy, when the stock market goes up, you earn a market-linked return that locks in every year, and when the stock market goes down, your annuity won't lose a dime. There are no unnecessary fees, and it works for your investments, money at a brokerage firm, or even money at a bank. It's simple, it's safe, and you should only invest if you learn the facts, and that's why savvy investors work with us. Want to learn more? Text FREE to 833-898-0500, and we'll send our retirement readiness kit directly